And he goes, well, I have to tell you, I noticed when we went out to eat a couple times, you eat a lot of food. Believe it or not, the title of this video is not clickbait. I'm not that good at Photoshop either. Forgive me if I talk quietly. My wife is sleeping in the room next to me. I've been weighing myself pretty much every single day for the past few months. It's just what I've learned to do. I've been waiting till the actual number to confirm it. I've been around like 97 to 99 pounds lost for a while. I've actually been fluctuating, and today I actually hit it. This morning I weighed, I did not expect it at all. I had a really good dietary day yesterday and it all just lined up. I just told myself I'm not gonna make this video till it's 100 pounds that I've lost, first of all, because why wouldn't I wait for that? And then I'm not gonna say I lost 100 pounds till it's actually 100 pounds. I say 100 because my marked starting weight was 270. I could have been above that at some point, I'm not sure. But my starting weight was 270 pounds. And today I hit 170. So how did this happen? I wouldn't say I don't know how I got to that weight, but I think it's wild how much I didn't realize I was at that weight. It's interesting how unaware of yourself you can be. You want a protein shake? Do you want one? I can make you one. Shake, 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 shake it. Shake, 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 shake it. Ooh. So I'd say the way that it started was I have yo-yo dieted since I can remember in life, pretty much. I've always been on and off diets. Number one, I recommend against keto. I think that's the number one fad diet I've seen in the past 5 years that everybody thinks is the golden cure. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is my head. It's ahead of me. What I would call my starting point, I attribute to one of my work friends, I don't know, a couple years ago, whatever, or maybe a year ago. I just worked alongside him. He talked about diet and workout regularly because that was a part of his life. And next thing I knew, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start intermittent fasting. It just sounded like something that would work. You want a protein shake? You want one? So good. It's peanut butter and chocolate with a little bit of coffee in it. So I decided to start intermittent fasting, and I think I lost about 30, maybe 40 pounds. I highly recommend it. It's one of the easiest ways to just take a chunk out of the food you eat if you're eating a lot. It kind of gives you more freedom during the times that you're actually eating. Not that you should be just picking out from this time to this time. So specifically for me, it was noon to 8 p.m. So you're trying not to eat too close to when you go to sleep, and you're trying to just prolong the time before you eat in the morning. So I did that. I started working out around then too. I keep burping. You want a protein shake? That's what's making me burp. If you want to burp. So I started working out too while I was doing that. So it was about 2:30-ish. And I stayed around there for a while. I was just intermittent fasting, trying to eat a little better. But what's crazy is when you're eating a lot of food regularly and you lessen that intake, you kind of justify what you eat now because you go, I used to eat this much. Just think about how much better it is now, even though you're still overeating. There's kind of a pattern. Pat, you better turn. You better turn, Pat. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Give me your hand, darling. That's not the words. There's a pattern. People, just little things. People, without them even knowing, they do one little thing and it changes me slowly. So there's Jimmy from work, and then there's my brother. And this comes a while later, like maybe even a year later, because I've already lost 30 or 40 pounds. I'm fluctuating. I'm just kind of on and off dieting, on and off working out. I go out to eat with my brother a couple times, and a little while later I'm talking to him. He's just a thinner guy. He always has been. And I was just one day on the phone with him, and I just was inquiring about what he eats, kind of just trying to get some data, And he goes, well, I have to tell you, I noticed when we went out to eat a couple times, you eat a lot of food. And I'm like, what? Because I'm thinking, I even said before this in the conversation to him, I eat so much less. I eat so much less than I used to. This, that. I don't eat that much. Da, 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 da. And he's like, you eat a lot. I was shocked at the amount you were able to eat when we went out to eat together. And I'm just like, what? He's like, Kyle, just eat less. I don't know who Les is, but I haven't found that person. I haven't eaten them yet. This could be a dangerous statement if you take it wrong, because just eat less, you can take that too far. You can be unhealthy, but you know, a protein shake. But that was a catalyst to immense weight loss for me, because I looked at it and then all of a sudden that unlocked something else in my brain where I started observing, look at certain types of people and just observe, what do they eat? When do they eat? How often do they eat? How much do they eat? And you start noticing people who are in shape eat this amount. People who aren't eat this amount. And you start going, okay, this is the normal amount to eat. Let me start gradually moving toward that. And there's so much more to it in my brain. I'll get to the next person. I went back to town for a little bit and I was talking to my friend Moses about working out. And it's funny how like I would tend to like identify as a person who goes to the gym regularly, even if I hadn't gone in a few months. But it's like, I have a membership. I mean to go. You know, I hadn't been. But I was just talking to, you want a protein shake? I was talking to him about working out, because he had just started getting back into it. He was telling me how he started focusing on himself, this and that and the other. What changed me with this one, I was talking to him and I just noticed, I'm like, dude, I just noticed he seemed thicker, muscularly, you know, denser in a good way. And I'm like, how long have you been working out, man? He's like, 6 months. And it gave me a perspective like that. 6 months and you've changed this much? 6 months is not a lot of time. It's turned into, I always go. I would go insane if I went a weekday without going, because it's just like, it keeps me sane. That was another thing. And it's interesting how people, without even trying, can do things like that. Throughout all this, I continued intermittent fasting, and then I was just experimenting with, okay, what's the normal amount to eat? That's the primary thing. Not the American normal, the normal to keep you in shape. Not round. I know a circle's a shape. Round is not a shape. A circle's a shape. So I started, like I said, with intermittent fasting, and then I just collect data. It's habit forming. It's learning. This is something that most people don't educate themselves on. What they should be eating, what should go in your body. Really, this should be common knowledge, because it's your life you're talking about, you know? When I was 270 pounds at 5'8", if I had to stay that way, I might die in 10 years. Like, that's a little exaggeratory. You want a protein shake? I can make you one. But just think of it as it's like finance. You can't really get through life well without educating yourself about how to do your finances. I'm not saying I can coach you on finance. I'm not good at it. And then move your body. Move your body. Walking is one of the most healthy things you can do on the planet. Just walking. And it's just so healthy for the soul. Like when it's sunny out and you're getting vitamin whatever the sun has, and you're just observing nature or doing it with your wife, having some nice time with your wife. Think about that extra hour that you usually sleep in. Take that and go. You don't have to go to the gym. You could just do something. There's so many workouts you can do at home. All this confusion that I'm trying to explain leads to today, where I can kind of feel how much I'm supposed to eat. Eyeball it a little bit, I guess you would say. You put in the time and the work and it just gets easy. There's little hiccups, little weird things here and there. You'll have to restart. It's just like anything else. Just keep doing it. It's not going to only take like 30 days to get to your goal weight. It takes time. I think it took me like 2 years to lose this 100 pounds. I barely attribute this to myself. So now the stage I'm in is I'm actually learning what I can about bodybuilding. That's what I'm doing now. So my diet has changed from a weight loss diet to actually more of a just protein heavy muscle gain diet. So it's been a little weird. At first I was a little OCD and afraid about it because I'm like, what if I put the weight back on because I'm eating too much? But it's crazy how when you put out that max effort lifting weights, how much the muscles just suck up that nutrients. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. To tag on the end, a few things that have worked for me. Intermittent fasting. I recommend noon to 8 p.m. If that doesn't work for you, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. is a little easier. Can't believe I didn't mention this person, John Woosley. He was the first person I started working out with, kind of, when I started this journey. And he introduced me to the next thing I'm going to suggest, which is an app called MyFitnessPal. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. I'm a forgetful person. You type in your goals. Wow, my brain I lost my thought like that in the middle of a sentence. MyFitnessPal, you type in your goals, you type in your goal weight, the amount of time you want it to take, all that goodness, and then it gives you a suggested amount of intake and activity. And what you do is you eat your meal, you log it. It's basically a food journal, and it shows you how much you've eaten, how much calories, and it helps a lot. It helps you get perspective and then go, oh, that Reese's is like a quarter of my calories for the day. How about I just not eat the Reese's and I enjoy my dinner? I don't know that from experience or anything. You want a protein shake? And then lastly, just become observer of other people, especially ones that you look at and go, I wish I could look like that. And I don't recommend you comparing yourself to others, but it doesn't hurt to be inspired by others. It doesn't hurt to know what you want and go for it. I hope this provided value. It was nice and scatterbrained. That's what, scatterbrain, my nickname in high school. But yeah, if you have questions about all this, I don't know if I can answer them, but I can sure try. I've spent my whole life dieting, so I might have an answer for you. All I'd say is if you're thinking about doing a diet plan, my answer would be no. If you're thinking about learning what to eat and how much of it to eat, do that. Because you'd be surprised how often I have treats here and there. But I just balance my life out. I don't go, I'm never gonna eat this ever again in my entire life. I'm only gonna have broccoli and water. You want a protein shake? Okay. I could apparently talk all day about this. So, I'm gonna get going. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.